kind of brands or businesses do you think Gorgias is good for?
Absolutely. So when it comes to what type of brands that I believe Gorgias would be good for, is brands that are consumer centric, brands that want to make sure that their customer isn't just another number, but is actually a part of the brand. Customer support and customer service, the reason we use words like support and service, it's so important because that's literally what we're doing. We're serving our customers. And a lot of us want to go beyond just the sale and the purchase with the customer. So anybody who cares about their customers, anybody that wants to connect with their customers and not just have a Gmail inbox, I think that's who it's good for.
And then, this one applies both if you if you knew your team before Gorgias and then post Gorgias, or even if Gorgias existed, the whole time at Uppy. But basically, how has Gorgias impacted the CX team?
So when it comes to the impact Gorgias has done for us, we've grown from 0 to now we've done a little over 80 million in and this year especially we're going to do a little over 40 million in sales. And to be able to have a tool that's can scale with you when you have 2 tickets a day to now 200 tickets a day, and you don't have to worry about changing anything, and being able to create a tool that people can use very easily. We have a team of 3 people now, and there was a time when it was just myself and my co-founder doing it. And so to be able to transpose something that is so seamlessly easy, one, makes training and utilization of the system easy, but number 2, I think it makes it scalable, where we never have to worry, even if we do, hopefully one day, $1 billion in sales. I don't see how our systems would have to change at all, which is extremely powerful to have.
So obviously you've had some exposure and experience with the AI products and Automate so far. Like, what would you say to brands who are hesitant about AI and CX?
Yeah, I think hesitation when it comes to AI in general is it's not good enough. Or what if my customer finds out it is AI? Or what if my customer thinks that it's not the right answer? Or there's a lot of just hesitation around what if something gets sent out and a human wouldn't have sent that. And I think what it comes down to is the way, especially Gorgias is approaching it, is we're not here to completely replace humans. I think here what it is there is a bulk of your tickets that are extremely repetitive. There's a bulk of your tickets that are extremely nuanced with kind of the same stuff over and over again, just maybe languaged in different ways. And I think that's where you guys are here to support, is like, let the humans actually work on the more complex things instead of being just a ticket puncher to get through the same stuff over and over again. So those who are hesitant, I think first it's a mental model, which is like change the way you're looking at how it's gonna help you and not look at it as a replacement, look at it as an assistant. And number 2, like if the team you have on your customer support, if they got to spend more time on quality problems instead of quantity problems, I think that's where the impact really drives.
Yeah, I think somebody was saying yesterday how it's like, think of AI like a spectrum. Like it's not an all or nothing switch that you have to turn
great way to put
on.
it.
And I was like, right, to me that's like that really makes sense, that it's like it's an aid, rather than a replacement.
That's right.
Okay, and this one, there's no wrong or right answer. It's one that I've been asking everyone. Is AI making CX more or less human?
Yeah.
I think AI is making people more human, and the reason is the bulk of customer complaints or questions are the ones that we kind of want the quickest answer and want something that's fast and gets to the point right away. But where we oftentimes don't get to spend enough time are the ones that come with complex problems that need humans to interact and think about how to address certain issues. So I think what we want to be fast and quick, we're able to do that with AI. What needs more time, AI is able to open up that time for the team and the humans to actually focus on.
What would you say was like, it doesn't have to be a specific metric, but like what was a measure of success that made you confident in the impact of Gorgias, or that made you feel like, okay, yes, this is working for our business?
So I think there's a few. So number 1 was definitely response time. For us, when we were like in our Gmail inbox or utilizing anything else, it was like 2 to 3 days. And we thought that was like pretty good. Like, all right, like this is good. We are now like talking about hours and sometimes like minutes. And to be able to talk about things that people are gonna get responses in hours, just think about the customer on the other side, that experience. I think we always just often chalk up experience to just expected. And it's like, oh yeah, customer experience is good or bad. There's a huge spectrum even in that, right? What is good and what is bad? I think the fact that we were taking 3 days to respond to most customers is really bad. I think now that the fact that we're able to talk about how can we drive from 2 hours to maybe 30 minutes, or with an AI agent, 1 minute, I think that becomes really good and really effective. So I think response time was number one. And then number two was just like getting the review and feedback from our customers and having CSAT scores, et cetera. Us being able to really identify the quality of our workmanship on the team side. Before, again, when we were doing it ourselves or doing it through other tools, it was kind of like, all right, just get the tickets done. We don't really care effectiveness of it. Now it's like if somebody gets a 3-star or a 3.8 or this or that, we at least go and say what happened here, right? And so we're able to kind of come up with nuances through those problems as well, which is awesome.
So you have been in the beta launch of AI Agent. Can you speak to the experience of setting it up, or what was the process of setting up AI Agent?
So first of all, I think when we were also hesitant. So just to be very, very relatable, we were hesitant, and our whole thing was, well, what if you guys answer something wrong? And you kind of feel like your eyes get taken off of this. And I think the number one thing was being able to sit down with your guys' team and work with you guys on saying, hey, here are the bulk of the problems. Here are the ways these should be handled. And then I think the cool part that we really got to see kind of happen and unfold over time was the fact that AI keeps getting smarter. It keeps learning and it keeps getting better, and you feed that information back. So our initial setup was actually really good, which was we actually got to do this exercise of what are these most frequently asked questions and tickets and problems, and then how do we really want to answer it, which is, I think, we always just kind of had this one macro or two macros that were set up, and this forced us to actually rethink those as well and be like, no, well, in this situation, we do this versus that. So got to sit with the team and really understand the full scope, and then said, hey, let's compartmentalize this to tackle the ones that are the most common and easiest, and then we'll move to stage 2 and stage 3. But stage 1 was extremely collaborative. There was a lot of learning, and there was also a lot of like, hey, if this happens, cool, we'll adjust this way. So a lot of, I think, confidence was built with us working with the team closely at Gorgias.
I mean, I feel like you kind of already answered this, but was there anything that surprised you about it?
Yeah, I think the one thing that did surprise me that was maybe different was the fact that you can have something that can be wrong, but that wrong is actually teaching it in a good way. Like even having a couple of mistakes was something that you can actually pick up and teach very quickly. Whereas we've had humans make mistakes, and it's like they'll repeat that mistake, or that mistake will keep happening. And I think the confidence in AI was of like, wait, they'll probably never make this mistake again. To be able to do that I think has been pretty eye-opening for us, because the one problem or two problems we have identified, now it's been a couple of months where we haven't even seen that come up. So I think that's really powerful and surprising too.
Yeah, that is really interesting to think about, like, just the confidence that you say and be like, they will never do this again.
Yeah. It's really powerful.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, last sort of case study question is, ultimately, there's a lot of CX platforms out there. It's a competitive market.
Yep.
Why do you continue to choose Gorgias?
There's a laundry list of reasons, but I'll start with a few of them. Number one, I think when you're utilizing a tool that is literally the interface between you and your customer for any brand, if anyone says anything different, I'd be surprised, is the most important piece to your business. So when you think about the communication platform that's interfacing with that customer, you want to make sure that you have a full grasp and handle of it, right? So number one, we've even tested other systems. There's nothing as intuitive and easy to train and get people almost as becoming experts. Like two of our customer service reps, they're true Gorgias experts now, whereas then they're training somebody that's gonna become like that. So the interface of the platform, the integrations, I think you guys are always, especially Gorgias, is just always working on making sure if something new is up and coming, how do we integrate? How do we make life easier here? So we never have to think twice, even whether it's our subscription platform or email, SMS, whatever it may be. So platform integrations. And then number three, I think, is team. There's been a countless amount of things where we'd have a question about, or something that like would go wrong maybe in our mind, but it's actually just perspective. To be able to talk to someone that isn't just like a bot or an email exchange with someone, I think we've always been able to get FaceTime, within 3 days or less with someone from Gorgias, which is incredibly helpful. And then lastly, I think this is the part that people don't realize enough, is like when you have a team that's starting to build KPIs, reporting, and monitoring is such an important part of CX that we don't really talk about that much because we just expect it to be good and almost automated. I think when we were utilizing anything else but Gorgias, the visibility was almost not there. To be able to have that transparently and available to a point where I've memorized the stats and I'm not even in Gorgias platform all day is really powerful.